So in part 2, I told y'all I was going to get into how my OG put me on in the game, and then also how I almost got bammed up in the military. So being new to the game, my girl took me under her wing. She is still my best friend today. She taught me how to have a vision outside of only Tampa. So I ended up starting to work in Miami every single weekend. I literally would get off work on Fridays and I would drive to Miami and I would drive back on Sundays. Miami was a different league, but I knew if I worked the clubs down there, I would be able to survive in any state. Miami had the bag and I was getting it because I was working nights and day shifts when I was down there. My girl taught me stripper etiquette and how to capitalize off the game as much as possible. So at this time I was racking up on my funds. I was getting more accustomed to the game and it was getting easier and easier until the girl I told y'all introduced me into the game, she pretty much turned on me. From what I know, things weren't working out for her as planned, so she ended up coming into work late. She was getting a lot of write-ups. She was pretty much falling asleep at work. And after so much, the military just got tired of it. I assumed I was managing too well for her liking, so she ended up throwing me up under the bus. She started tagging my sergeant and showing him that I was working in the club, tagging me in posts talking about, oh, isn't this your girl right here? At that point, I was so mad at myself because I never allowed myself to be photographed in the club. But the one time I did, she actually had hard evidence and proof, so there it was. So at that point, I knew I really had to go under the radar and really just take a break and just chill out all together. Luckily, I had a sergeant that didn't pay no mind to that shit, and he really just let it go. But the shit ended up catching up to me because one day I was at work and literally the first sergeant called me into her office. At this time, she questioned me about me having employment outside of the military, in which I denied. So I already knew that this had made it past my sergeant, and old girl pretty much put my business in the street. I was fucking terrified sitting in that office because I really just knew, okay, they're about to put me out the military. It's over for me. I wrote the club that had my picture posted, and I literally begged the promoter to please take the photo down. I was trying to cover my ass to make sure they didn't have any hard evidence if they did present a case against me. But I guess the first sergeant never had the photo in her possession, so pretty much everything was word of mouth. Part 4 will probably be my last video, so y'all like and drop y'all questions in the comment section. I'll be explaining how I got up out of this hot shit.